Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of Song of the Deep. I played it on the Xbox One. It's also available on the PS4 and PC. In Song of the Deep, you play as a girl named Marin, whose father is a fisherman, and every night she waits for him to come back home, but one night he does not. So she builds a submarine and goes looking for him in, I guess it's the ocean. Yeah, the ocean. And while searching for her father in the ocean, she discovers that all the tales he told her of mystical cities and underwater people, well, it turns out they're true. And she gets wrapped up in the grand old adventure of it all. I really like the storytelling of this game. I like that it's done through narration, and I don't know, I just like the tone that it sets. When it comes to the audio, I think it's pretty good. They do a lot of great sound effects that make you feel like you are underwater and like you're battling these interesting and weird creatures, and I don't know, I just think the sound effects work for this game. There's not a lot to say with the voiceover. It's all narration, and I'll say it's done really well. I like the sound of the person speaking. I think they deliver the lines very well. They tell you the story in a convincing manner. Now, when it comes to the gameplay, this is very much a metroidvania style game. But what makes it different from most Metroidvania style games is instead of running around on foot, you are underwater in a submarine. But it has all your standard Metroidvania tropes, the collectibles, the leveling, the different weapons, etc., etc. And it's got the standard combat that you would expect. You start out with a grappling claw, and that's how you battle at first. You get projectiles, you get sprinting, blah, blah, blah. Now, I know I just said blah, 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 but that's not to say that it's not well done. It's as well done as any Metroidvania game that I've played recently. It's just, it's not particularly new in that sense. The controls are fortunately one of the weaker parts of this game. While they're never so terrible that they make you just kind of lose your shit on the game, they're also not as precise as you would like them to be. Now, when I say that, I am specifically referring to the aiming controls. I know it's supposed to lock on, but there are times where I felt that one of my projectiles or my claw definitely should have hit one of the enemies, and it did not. And obviously, that's kind of a problem, because I want to kill the enemies rather than have them kill me, you know? The movement feels a little sloppy, and that's not because it's actually sloppy, it's because you're in a submarine underwater, so you're not going to have as tight of controls as you would, you know, controlling a guy who's running around on foot. This game does another thing that's very common at this point in time, and that's, instead of actual cutscenes, it's still frames. And while they're beautiful still frames, it's just not super unique at this point in time. We've seen it in plenty of other games now. Now, when you are playing, it's a beautiful landscape. It's a beautiful world that they've designed in this ocean, and I love being there. It just does a great sense of making you feel like you're underwater. The ancient civilization looks really cool. The enemies, just all the creatures of the ocean, they look very cool. I like the art style of this game. At the end of the day, I wish Song of the Deep did something more unique than what it does, but that's not to say that it's a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. For what you're paying, I honestly think it's worth the money if you're looking for a fun Metroidvania style game. If you're not into those games, well then obviously you're not going to dig on this game. So in the comments below, why don't you tell me if you've played Song of the Deep, since it's actually been out for a while. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share or subscribe. Have a good one.